What's up, guys? Penguin Overlord here, and welcome back to another Ghost Recon Breakpoint sort of update video thing. I guess that's what we're calling these. So, meant to do this video yesterday, but didn't get around to it because I just went to bed after work. So, yeah, let's talk about this. Closed beta to open beta improvements. Now, this article basically contains, and I'm sure you guys have all read it, so I'm just going to give my thoughts and opinions about it, but this article basically contains like some quality of life sort of improvements, kind of like what I said in the last video I made, which was like 20 minutes long and didn't need to be, but whatever. Yeah, so small quality of life improvements, but yeah, we'll just go over this real quick. I'll try to get this done relatively fast. So for first up, better controls and stuff for the main character. So you've got enhanced responsiveness for the main character and faster acceleration stops main character, resulting in a decreased feeling of inertia. So let me take a look at this. So we'll have to wait and see until the open beta before I can get. I'll have to wait and see until the open beta before I can get a solid reaction as to how it actually feels in the game. But it does look a lot more like the Wildlands running animation sort of thing. So we'll just see how that goes. I mean, I didn't necessarily hate the running animation, because if you're running around with full kit and backpacks, it's going to take you a little bit to stop. But I did think it was a little bit too much. So yeah, so I guess an overall positive change there. Maybe they could scale it back just a little bit and find a middle ground between the old and new. But whatever. I don't really care too much, because honestly, if I'm running around in the game, I'm probably blasting stuff, and I've got more important things to be worried about than what my character looks like. So there we go. So next up is faster weapon swaps. So let's look at that. Pretty quick transition to pistol and rifle. Pretty fast transition to a secondary long gun, which may not be super realistic, but whatever. Does he have a fanny pack on? That's interesting. That's weird. I hope they didn't get rid of the belts, because I like the belt. Oh, nope, the belts are back. It's just, I don't know, that's weird. He's got a fanny pack. Sorry. Anyway, faster stance changes. So your ghost is actually a little bit more physically fit. Even though Nomad is getting older in this in Ghost Recon Breakpoint. I think he's in like his late 40s, so slowing down a little bit, but whatever. Faster interaction with chests to loot them, so that's cool. Less paralysis time after injury trigger, faster entry to vehicles. You can cancel the opening the chest. So if you're in the middle of opening a chest and he comes up and starts shooting you, you can cancel that and go fight him, which is cool. You cancel car entries, fast cancellation of intel gathering interactions, so that's cool. That's a good thing if you're under fire. Better walk rush animation. Let me look at that. Okay, I can take it or leave it. Walking, rushing, realistic animation, better terrain analysis. So basically, with movement and stuff, it's, at least in order to get a solid opinion, at least from my perspective, we're going to have to wait and see until the open beta, which will be next weekend, just to get a solid read on how it actually performs in the game. But so far, it looks good. Better camera from shooting from a vehicle, cool. Fixes for playing co-op, whatever. Debugged, basically bug fixes and stuff. There's improved handbrake behavior on vehicles, which allow the player to better control it. Less affected by the angle of the slopes, ground vehicles. So if you're driving up a slope, you're not going to like stall out, at least as much. I know that was one thing that that kind of was a little bit frustrating, and at one point in the open beta, there's like this one point where you're driving up a mountain road and there was snow and you were sliding, which would be a little bit realistic, but Yeah, again, we'll see how it works when the beta comes out. Traveling of helicopters is more accessible, so now there's more helicopters, which honestly, I thought was a little bit much to grant a helicopter right from the beginning of the game when you get to Erewhon, but whatever. Sparrow helicopter is now accessible by default at the bivouac right away. Okay, so you have a helicopter accessible whenever you spawn to a bivouac. I read this as Erewhon first when I first saw it, but no, it's actually a bivouac, so okay. More helipad locations available. Helicopters are now shown in the Erewhon shop menu without having to unlock them in the skill tree. That's cool, I guess. I don't know. It gets a feeling that they're trying to make the game a little bit easier with this update. I don't know if I really agree with having helicopters available right from the beginning of the game, because you can just go around and fly everywhere. But then again, with the whole guided mode, you're going to be bouncing around the map anyway, so I guess that is a useful feature. Smarter AI behavior. The improvements are made to help them become stuck in walls. Camp states are more reliable. Okay. NPCs will now take cover more realistic and logical way. So basically, a lot of stuff we're going to have to wait and see how this actually shakes out in the open beta. Increase the window of opportunity to avoid the call for reinforcement. Time for reinforcements to rise has been increased. Okay, so that's a good thing, because especially if you're trying to attack a wolf camp and you don't take out the radio operator, the resulting helicopter that can come in will just absolutely shred you. So that's a good thing, I guess. Although definitely you want to kill the radio operator with a sync shot drone as soon as possible, basically. Mortar's now far less precise. That's a good thing, because that mortar was super accurate, especially if you're like out of line of sight. So yeah, that's a good thing. Wide range difficulty, more accessible, easy, and normal difficulty levels, which I won't be playing on. So you can go read that. I'll leave a link to these notes down in the description below. More realistic experience in extreme difficulty, so the detection clouds are gone, which honestly, I didn't play in extreme difficulty during the closed beta, so I was surprised that this was actually a thing where if you had extreme on, you still had the detection clouds, because if I knew that, I would have played on extreme. But no, it's removed now, so that's cool, I guess. I probably won't be playing Ghost Recon Breakpoint at launch on Extreme because we don't have the AI team, so there's less room for error. So I'll probably be playing on advanced difficulty. But yeah, that's cool. Shop menu, you shop in the bivouac now, so you can shop for weapons and gear and stuff in the bivouac, which means less running back and forth to Erewhon, so that's kind of nice. A little bit of an immersion breaker. Maybe they'll implement it in a smart way, but little bit of an immersion breaker, but whatever. There's improved menu feedback with buying, selling items, differentiated weapon and gear camos in the buy menu, so that's cool. So, yeah, it looks like we'll be able to get multicam black sooner, which would be a good thing, because you know I love my multicam black. Shorter timer for a refresh of weapons and gear available for purchase, cool. Bunch of different exploration icons. Behemoth areas are now discovered by default in the attack map. I don't know if I agree with that. I think those would be things you should find, but hey, whatever. Each behemoth displays their unique reward it gives when their challenge is complete, so I guess that's talking about the loot drops, because the stuff by the control tower is already available by default in the closed beta, so you could hover over that icon, behemoth drone icon, and find out what's there. But yeah, I guess this is talking about the loot it can drop, so there we go. Location discovery using drone recon has been improved to reward players with more intel. Okay. I suppose that's interesting. So if you just fly over it, you may not get as much intel. We'll see. Unique item chests have now specific icons. That's cool. Side quest mission givers in the open world are now easier to discover. That's a good thing, because I had a hard time at first finding the side quest mission givers in the closed beta. I eventually did find them, but it just took me a little bit. Guided mode is now default mode when playing the game. Players can still switch between exploration and guided mode at any time using the in-game menu. I honestly like using the exploration mode. It actually forces you to use the map and actually look for things. So I will probably, when I do my live stream during the 3-day early access of Ghost Recon Breakpoint, I'll probably just be on exploration mode. So there you go. Non-equipped missions and objectives are now displayed on the attack map in guided mode. All undiscovered locations in the attack map are displayed in guided mode with question marks. Increased UI display options. You can now choose if the map shows question marks for undiscovered locations in the gameplay menu if you do not wish to see points of interest already marked. Okay. Erewhon. In Erewhon, the offline avatar standing around the table are the player's friends instead of unknown players. Okay, I would prefer that there wouldn't be random freaking people running around in Erewhon. Because that sounds like that aspect's still going to be there, just the people around the table will be your friends, which most of the time that was the case. There were some unknowns, but some of them were just people on my Uplay list. Class challenges have been more balanced to be more rewarding. Okay, we'll wait and see about that. Saves issue, if you had saves issue in the closed beta, that should be fixed. Improvements made to objects level detail to create a better visual experience, if I can talk. That's good. I think the graphics were a little bit weak in the closed beta, but then again, it's a closed beta, so I kind of expected that. So hopefully the game will be looking better like it does in the more recent gameplay trailers. Options for textures on PC has better resolution. Better options offer let players choose between visual quality versus frame rate. Okay, cool. This video is 11 minutes long, so I'm just going to wrap it up here. They're going to be making continuous improvements to the game at launch, including weapon audio improvements. We'll see how that goes, because pretty much every form of visual media gets, like, for example, suppressed firearms, like, wrong. Even, like, my favorite movie series, John Wick, gets suppressed firearms completely wrong, because unless you're using subsonic ammo, you're still going to hear the supersonic crack of the round going off as it breaks the sound barrier. And even if you do have subsonic ammo, you're still going to hear the weapon cycling when it's firing. And I don't think UB Paris probably doesn't have access to a gun range or somewhere where they can actually record actual weapons firing. Maybe they do. I don't know. But I wouldn't count on it. So we'll see. A lot of this stuff is like, we'll wait and see. So I'm not expecting too much in the Department of Realism with these improvements, but we'll see. Player feedback is extremely valuable to us, so please continue to share your thoughts and any issues you may experience on the open beta forums once they are active next week. We'll see you on the field, ghosts. Okay, so there you go. Just small quality of life improvements. Nothing really major in terms of gameplay. I still wish they would fix the digital sight and the ACSS scope, so that way they're 1 to 4 variable power optics, and both of them available on assault rifles. That would be awesome, because the ACSS scope in the closed beta was only available for DMRs, which kind of sucked. But yeah, there you go. I'm just going to end it here. So that's the some of my thoughts on the closed beta to open beta improvements. So I'm going to end it here. I'm Penguin Overlord, and I'll catch you all next time. Take care, guys.